Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about open-ended toys. If that's something you like, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Open-ended toys are basically a toy that you can do multiple things with. It's not a toy that has one simple function. It helps your child to really think and imagine and enjoy play. So I made a list of our 10 favorite toys. So let's just get into it. First up, I have these guys. I knew that was gonna happen. These are Grapot loose parts. As you can see, they're just little pieces in different shapes, different colors. As you can tell, they have like a color story. So like these honeycomb, I don't know the best way to show you. These honeycomb, as you can tell, they're yellow, but they're not all the same color yellow. So they have a bit of a color story. Those pieces are honestly good for so many things. Even outside of play, like learning, they're really good as well. When we first got them, my daughter loved to sort them. The box that they come in has the picture on the side, and she would sort different ones into the boxes. She uses these to cook her stews and her soups and all kind of things all the time. I even pack some in a to-go container and bring it to my mom sometimes. She is really into cooking, especially with these guys, and she has play food, but if you give her the choice, she's definitely gonna go for all these different little loose parts. She has little like mason type jars that she'll keep them in, so this isn't even all of them right here. Definitely a really good toy. Now, Grapot ones are a little bit hard to get your hands on, and they're also a little bit pricey, but Etsy has almost all of these that you can get from people who are, I think, just like painting them themselves. And you can also find some blanks of some of these at like Michael's and other big craft stores. Next, I have Toy Animals. We have these right here. These are Holztiger brand. I hope that's how you say it. I honestly don't know the correct way. And we have just a big variety. So a big giraffe, small giraffe. We have a whale, hippo. These are all handmade and no two are exactly alike. Oh, sorry. So we have two hippos right here, and as you can tell, maybe you can't, they have some differences. One is a tad bit bigger, one has bigger lips, one has a bigger belly, their eyes look a little bit different. So no two is exactly the same. They are handmade and I absolutely love that, but there's a ton of different animals, ton of different brands that you can get. It does not have to be these, but Toy Animals are just, you can use them in so many different scenarios. Sometimes we have a horse that lives inside of our playhouse. We use the pigs with Three Little Pigs when we're reading the story, or we play the Three Little Pigs. Sometimes her people go on a safari ride. Sometimes we have a killer shark in the water by her people. You get the idea. There's so many different scenarios that you can add these play animals in, so they're really a great addition to any toy collection. Sorry if I sound like I'm out of breath. I am. I'm struggling. I really need some water or something, but I don't want to get out the room right now. All right, next on my list is Duplos, or honestly any kind of Lego. I like Duplos. So I just have these four right here. Legos, I would say my daughter's still a little bit too young for them. We have like one small Lego set. She's gonna be 4 in July, just for age reference. She can do things with them, but I like Duplos better for her. They're easier for her, and they're a little bit more sturdy to actually be played with. I feel like the Lego set that we have is very like fragile, and she's always breaking pieces off when she's trying to play with it. So Duplo is my favorite. We did have Mega Blocks when she was younger. I honestly wish we would have introduced Duplo, the Duplo size, sooner. The Mega Blocks were just so much more limited, but they were still a good toy for when she was a lot smaller. All right, next on this list, I know I'm kind of all over the place. I just put art supplies. Art supplies is so open-ended. I mean, you can literally do a million things with it. So we have everything from stickers to pipe cleaners to pom-poms, stamps, feathers, googly eyes. When someone asks me what to give my daughter as a gift, I always say art supplies, because they buy like the craziest things. I'm like, look, we have crayons and markers, but any kind of art supplies. So we have multiple types of paints, even multiple types of markers, snap markers, gel pens. Just, it's really fun. My daughter is able to get so creative with the art supplies. It's really a great gift. I love receiving art supplies for her. Two things that I just kind of pulled out are these Uli chunky paint sticks. Honestly, guys, these are really like those oil crayons, or I'm not exactly sure what they call. You know, right? Like oil paint crayons. You can get them in those like big art sets. You probably had one as a kid. That's really what these remind me of. It doesn't say that on here. It just says paint sticks. These are really fun. They're just a little different than crayons, but you can still use them in a really similar way, and we love the bright neon colors. Another random art thing is actually this hole puncher. I really wanted to include it because I think it's hilarious. My daughter loves these, and I have a few different shapes. I purchased all of them before she was even born. Not thinking I was buying them for her, but she loves using these, especially in things like junk mail, stuff that I'm already gonna throw away or compost. She will just go to town punching holes, and she just plays with them. Sometimes she sorts them. She just really enjoys using these hole punchers. They're not all made exactly this way, and some are a little bit hard for her, but with a little bit of assistance, she has it down. If you know anything about open-ended toys, you've probably heard of a rainbow, maybe a Grimm's rainbow, since that's probably your most popular, and we love our rainbow. We like our rainbow. It doesn't get as much playtime as I originally hoped, at least not independent playtime. I do think maybe as she gets a little bit older, she'll get more playtime with it, but right now, she usually only does like one or two things with it, and she usually wants assistance. You can actually see, let's see, our rainbow is pretty high up. She can't even access it on her own, and that's just because she doesn't go for it, so I just utilize that space. If she wants it, she asks me to help her get it, and she usually wants me to help her build something as well. So to replace the rainbow, or an alternative or whatever, even if you have rainbow, this goes actually really well with the rainbow. These are bridges, so they're not as arched. They're a little bit, they're like a bridge. I'm just dropping toys everywhere right here. So these are not Grimm's brand, like the popular rainbow, but Grimm's definitely does make some. We found these on Etsy. If I can find them, I'll leave them down below. I actually bought these in a second quality sale. I don't know where the second quality is. They're great. But if I can find them, I will link it down below, or I'll link something similar for sure. We just get so much more use out of these. My daughter likes to use them to make like bridges for her car track, because they're not so highly arched. Like going down the cars, it's not such a steep drop, and she can just do a little bit more with her like cars, her people, her animals with it. We get so much more play, and you guys, these bridges are like a small fraction of the cost of what the rainbow is. So if you're on the fence and you don't think your child is gonna really like get into all those big builds, but you just want this like pretty little rainbow structure, I say go for the bridges. We get so much more use with this. All right, next is Playsilks. I hear a lot of like mixed stuff about Playsilks, because honestly, it is just a piece of silk. You definitely don't have to buy this brand. These are Sarah Silks. I bought them in excitement. They're the most popular brand. These are the ones I needed, but there's a ton of other alternatives on Amazon. Sarah Silks is a really good company, but if it's not in your budget, there's other options. And like I said, it's just a piece of silk. We have different sizes. I believe this is like your standard play size, but they also have minis right here. And if you see this giant blue one above, I think that's called the giant play silk. My daughter uses these for baby blankets. She uses this one for grass. We make tents for the dolls. We, I don't know, cover her playhouse to make it nighttime. We even use these outside. They become superhero capes. We try to make princess dresses with a couple of them tied together. She gets a lot of use out of this simple little piece of silk. But like I said, there's so many options. If you sew, if you have like extra material, cut your baby a square, let them go to town. We just find a lot of use out of these. All right, next on my list, I have Kinetic Sand. We have this set right here. And we also have a couple of the smaller sets. If I tell somebody to buy art supplies and they don't want to buy art supplies, they want to buy something else, then I always say Kinetic Sand or Play-Doh. I don't really love all the Play-Doh sets, but like just your pack of Play-Doh. We have like scented Play-Doh and all that fun stuff. Right now I think that sand is the favorite, but sometimes she loves Play-Doh a little bit more. She also has sand and Play-Doh at my mom's house, and she only uses my mom's like kitchen tools to play with it. She doesn't have any types of sets or like tools for it. So you can just buy a basic thing of sand, give your kid a measuring cup, some cooking spoons, and bowls. They will have a blast. My daughter raids the kitchen all the time for just different things when she doesn't find it in her own little tool bucket. All right, next I have magnetic tiles. We have the Picasso brand, and we have a couple different sets at this point. So like these are your larger triangles, your basic squares. There's a lot of different sets for Picasso tiles. We also have the marble run that you connect to it, which is also really fun. So we love the Picasso tile brand. We haven't had any issues with breaking them. We have pretty hard floors. Some of these have fallen from pretty high. With our marble runs, sometimes they get like knocked down. I mean, they definitely get played with, and we haven't had any issue with them. So I really like the Picasso tile brand. They're a little pricey, I'm not gonna lie, but go to HomeGoods, go to Marshall's. I've seen so many different sets. I've actually bought a set on Amazon and then found it at HomeGoods the next week, and I was a little salty about it, I'm not gonna lie. But you can definitely find these at a cheaper price if you really look. But they are just a really good toy. Like I said, we have the marble run attachment. We also have a Ferris wheel attachment. And this little car piece right here, my daughter uses this to transport her animals, to transport her people. This is a string from a Grapot toy that she acts to get tied on here. She pulls this around the house. This is just a great toy. Okay. Our next item is going to be a little bit hard for me to show you, so I'll explain it to you first. It's just a balance board. We have the Kinderfeets brand. If I can find one, I'm in the US. If I can find one in the US, I will link it down below. But for some reason, the last few times I've looked, I can only find them in Australia. There are other brands. I know Wobble Board is very popular, but personally we have Kinderfeets, so that's really the only one that I can say for quality. Let me just show it to you. Okay. I know I'm showing it to you at a really awkward thing, but this is a Kinderfeets board, or a balance board, like I said. There's multiple ways to use it. And this is what it looks like. Okay, I know that was a super awkward way to show you. But when my daughter was obsessed with Moana, this was Moana's boat all the time. Now, if she watches me work out, she uses this as an exercise board. I don't know why. I don't use it as an exercise board. But it's fun. It can hold my weight. It can hold my husband's weight. So we play around and wobble on it. We've used it as a slide off of the sofa. We use it for like ball runs and other little setups. We use it as a huge bridge or ramp for her toy cars and her way to play car track. Sometimes her animals hide under it, like just like a shelter, a cave, something like that. We get a lot of use out of it. And the last item, I'll try to insert a picture because I just realized as I was sitting down to film this that they're all wet outside because my husband just sprayed them down. But it's the Melissa and Doug metal pot set. I believe Ikea has one that is pretty identical if you're closer to an Ikea. The reason I love these so much is because obviously she can use them for cooking, and she uses them as like serving bowls. She's used them as instruments before, but she can also use these outside. She can use them with water play. She can use them with mud. She is like a huge mud pie maker, mud cupcake maker, all the fun things. So I highly suggest those just because you can use them indoors, outdoors, and with things that are wet. You don't have to just use them with play food. And that's it for my top 10. I did want to mention 2 other items that I'm not going to show you, but one is the Ikea Flisat table, and that is just a sensory bin table. So any type of sensory bin is great. You can put Play-Doh, dirt, kinetic sand, water, all kinds of things in there and just keep your kid busy for the longest time. And the next one is a Nugget sofa. Now I know that these are a little bit hard to come across, so I didn't really want to include it as our top 10, but we do get a lot of use out of this. Ours is in the living room. Right now my daughter is using one of the cushions as a chair, but we make forts and tents, and I don't know, is a fort and a tent the same thing? Slides, we use them as rolling mats. Sometimes she takes a nap on them. We just get a lot of use out of them, and I think that they're a great toy if you have the room for it. Obviously they're pretty big. It's like a child sofa. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll try to put a picture here on the screen. I'll also try to link it down below. But that's everything. Those are our current favorite open-ended toys. If you guys like this video, if you're curious about other open-ended toys, let me know, and maybe I can try to do a part 2 of just other open-ended toys, not necessarily our top ones, because we love open-ended toys, and I hope you do as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.